Well, guys, the infamous, I was supposed to quote unquote review this earlier this year, never got to it, but I will do now. Excuse that I have for every single video. I was too broke to afford these phones earlier, but now, I'm able to get a little bit now, so I figure I'll spend the rest of my life savings on these phones. Like I said, man, my main goal is to make you guys feel like you guys own these phones, and if I don't do that, I'm not doing a good job. So we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Now, before I usually do some B-roll and all that stuff, I'm still going to do it. But I'm going to show you guys in hand how these things feel and how obviously I've been doing a lot of these recently just because I'm trying to push these out before the Galaxy Note 10 comes out, and then the iPhones and then Google Pixel. So I still have a lot of videos left before those come out. Hopefully I can get my hands on it too. Samsung never invited me to the event, but that's besides the fact. But I picked up the Note 9, which is on my left, and the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which is on my right, about a week ago, about a week and a half. I think the Note 9 I got first, and then the S10 Plus. And to be honest, I'm pretty shocked by how similar these phones are. I mean, you can probably not even tell over the camera which one is which until I turn on the screen, and then you'll be able to kind of tell. As you can see, they look almost exactly the same until you get to the home screen, like I stated, and that's when they look a little bit different. But we're going to go ahead and see how these things compare, at least now, several months after they've been released. Interestingly enough, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 actually came out in August of 2018, so it's actually almost a year old. I did that video. You guys have probably already seen it by now, but the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus came out. It was announced in February, but it didn't officially come out until March. So this thing is obviously much newer than the Galaxy Note 9, but looking at them, they look almost identical. Obviously, you can tell from the top. The S10 Plus does have the hole punch display with actually two cameras on the front versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 where it only has a single sensor, but I have seen some people say they like the Samsung Galaxy Note 9's design with a little bit of bezel up top and on the bottom versus the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus totally bezel-less display, excluding the top cameras. And I think I'm in the boat of, I'm really in the middle. I like the Galaxy S10 Plus because it is super futuristic. I mean, this is probably the way phones are going to start looking until they put the camera fully behind the display. The Samsung Galaxy Note 9, in my opinion, is also a very good looking phone still. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And if you own this phone, I hope you don't think you have an outdated designed phone or anything like that. Even though the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is supposed to be pretty crazy in terms of design and everything, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, in my opinion, still feels like a very, very premium device. Looking on the back, we have a triple camera setup on the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. We only have a dual camera setup on the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It's not really that big of a deal in my opinion. I don't think you guys are going to care at all. But you do have the fingerprint sensor on the back of the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, where you don't have that on the Galaxy S10 Plus. But the screen is actually capable of having a inbuilt fingerprint sensor. God, I sound so weird when I said that. So you can go and just rest your finger on the display and unlock it that way, which is really, really, really cool. And I love that type of technology. And to be honest, that's the future, guys. That's where we're going to be. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus also has reverse wireless charging as well, and that's a humongous feature. If you're depending on which one is which or which one is better, the Galaxy S10 Plus has way more features than the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. But the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, in my opinion, has a feature that the S10 Plus does not have, and that is the S Pen on the bottom of the phone. As you can see, we have the USB Type-C port, headphone jack, and this little pop-out thing, which if you click it, it actually brings out the S Pen, which is an amazing cool little thing. If you can see, it does not work on the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. It's actually like a full-on technological advanced device. But if we hop out, you can see it's a full-on stylus, and that is such an amazing thing. This is one of the killer features of the Samsung Galaxy Note line ever since the Note 1, I think, even had it. Ever since the Note 3, I think that's when it was super killer, and then this one is just beyond. I mean, there's so much you can do with it, but I feel like Samsung can still take it up a notch. The Note 10 is supposed to bring all those crazy little things, so in my opinion, I think the S Pen is a killer feature, but even though the S10 Plus has more features, the Note 9 still has that, which is really cool. I will be doing a speed test in a second, but the screens on the front are also almost exactly the same size, and I say almost because they're designed a little bit differently. On the Galaxy Note 9 and on the S10 Plus, we have 6.4 inches on both of them, both 1440p panels. The S10 Plus actually has a little bit higher pixels per inch density, a PPI screen density, than the Galaxy Note 9, but honestly, looking at them both in real life, you literally cannot tell the difference in my opinion. They're both very, very good displays, and really the only advantage of the S10 Plus, like I said, is designed differently, is because there is a little bit less bezel on the side that I can notice, making it feel a little bit thinner. But also, like I said, the top and bottom bezels are gone, but you also have that hole punch display. So it is designed a little bit differently, and it does overall feel much smaller than the Note 9. But if I was holding these side by side or in both hands like I am now, I don't feel like one is way bigger than the other. I don't feel like the one is way thicker. I think it's perfectly fine. I think both phones feel very, very premium. They feel almost identical in the hands. And I say that because retail price right now, brand new, they're about the same price, give or take like $100. But in the used market, the Note 9 is actually a cheaper device. You can pick one of these up for less than about $400. On a good day, that's for the base model. They might be a little bit more expensive, but that's what I paid mine. I paid less than $400 for this one, fully working everything. The Galaxy S10 Plus, I've seen these go nowhere less than like $550, and that makes sense because, like I said, there's not too much of a price difference between these, but also the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus came out more recently, so this is a newer device, so that totally makes sense in my eyes. But in a year or two from now, this will probably end up selling for like $300 to $350 in my opinion, for the same price the S9 Plus is selling for now. Now we kind of hit on a lot of stuff. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a speed comparison between these two. I have the same type of apps on both of them. So let's go ahead and see which one is the faster device between both of them. Now I had to move the camera around a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you the specifications of both devices, even though it's not really that important. The Galaxy S10 Plus has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, an octa-core CPU, and depending on the variant, you either have 8 gigs of RAM or 12 gigs of RAM. On my specific one, I have 8 gigs. The Galaxy Note 9, however, has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset core CPU, but this one has 6 gigs of RAM versus the 8 on the S10 Plus, which you can also get the 512 gig variant of the Note 9, which has 8 gigs of RAM, which is still a lot. I think 6 gigs is plenty. If you want to go up to all the way to the 8 or 12, that's awesome as well. I'm going to go ahead and hop out of all the apps on both these devices. You can see I opened them up before, so it's not like one has a super huge advantage over the other. This is probably going to be the raw speed, what you would expect in real life. Let's go and load up Dropbox. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, almost identical for this specific app. Let's do Bofa. 3, 2, 1. The S10 Plus was a little bit faster in that test, which is kind of interesting. 3, 2, 1. Again, the S10 Plus was a little bit faster, which is interesting, like I said, because this one does have a higher pixels per inch density, which could mean something, could mean nothing, but this phone I think is going to be overall faster. Totem, 3, 2, 1. And as you guys can see, the S10 Plus is, it overall got into the app game faster. Even though this little pop-up did come up, it was still loading up way faster, as you guys saw previously. Let's do Thank You. 3, 2, 1. And the S10 Plus got into that one faster too. Let's get into some gameplay, but you guys will be able to tell, this game is really not that, super intensive, and it's going to play almost identically on both of them. So there's really not much more to test there. Snake vs. Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And to be honest, this is one of my favorite games ever. I don't know why, I don't even know why I put this on here, because it's, not a super intensive game, but I play it all the time. As you saw, the S10 Plus did get into it faster. In terms of just the gameplay, you'll see that it's not that much of a huge graphically intensive game, like I stated before, but it's still a good enough game. I'm sure some of you guys will test some small games, and I find it even interesting that a small game like this can still show that big of a difference in terms of the performance. And as you saw, I opened the internet browser, so I'm going to hop out of that so it's not uneven. Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. And the S10 Plus is just like a step ahead of the Galaxy, of the Note 9, which is so interesting. If we hop into a new game, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. I think it's going to be exactly the same, but you might be able to tell a little different. Nope, it's almost exactly the same. This is a super non-graphically intensive game, so I don't think you're going to find anything interesting from testing both of these. Let's do Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And I thought for a second I didn't click it on the S10 Plus, but I was wrong. And let's see, the S10 Plus, again, just a split second faster. So it is faster, I'm going to tell you, but it's not what you might think. It's not way, moons and moons above. Let's open the Play Store. 3, 2, 1. Open almost identically. The camera. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I would say probably one of them was faster. I honestly can't tell which one was. Let's do settings. 3, 2, 1. The Note 9 was actually faster in the settings app. Kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and load up some apps from the background and see how well the RAM management is. Let's load up this one. Okay, I don't think we're going to run into any problems. Really, they're both, really very, very high in terms of the RAM management. So I don't think we're going to run into too many problems. As you can see, I'm not running into any. Okay, I thought we restarted here, but we didn't. Nope, exactly the same. So I'm definitely tell you the speed and difference between these two in terms of the speed is not as crazy as you might think. And I find that super interesting because, as you expected, the S10 Plus technically on paper is way faster, not even that much faster. It has 2 more gigs of RAM, but on top of that, it does have a newer chipset inside of it, the Snapdragon 855. So in terms of a speed standpoint, definitely, there's really not that much of a difference. The S10 Plus is the clear winner, but if this was like a 10 out of 10 phone, like 100%, I would say the Note 9 is like easily like a 95% of what this device is. You still have great cameras on this one and on this one. You might have more features on this device, such as reverse wireless charging, a bigger battery at 41 milliamp hours, where you only have 4,000 on here. The thickness is about the same on both devices too, and I think definitely like whichever device you pick, whichever device you have, you're definitely not making a wrong choice at all. Both these devices are very, very premium. There's so many advantages for the S10 Plus and there's so many advantages for the Note 9. But if you're trying to get like the best bang for your buck device, I'll probably tell you like the Note 9 might be it because, you know, obviously it is cheaper now in the used market. It might be still a little bit pricey in the new market, but in the used one, which I would recommend you to get, it's cheaper there than the S10 Plus. You're getting that S Pen support, premium build quality, still great battery life, fingerprint sensor on the back if you like that. For a lot of people, they probably won't. And you're still probably going to end up getting the same software support as the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, so you're not really going to miss out on too much in my opinion. But the S10 Plus is still a very, very good device. Literally, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It just depends on your preference. This one is a little bit on the pricier side, like I stated. But if you're willing to pay that extra premium, you're still going to get a very, very amazing device. This is one of the best Android phones out in the market right now. It's definitely one of the most expensive ones too at that. But in the used market, you can probably pick one up for around $600, probably less than $600, maybe a little bit more if you want a higher end model and one in better condition. But I don't think you're going to make a wrong choice on either of these devices. And that's really pretty much it, man. I'll go on Amazon and I'll find the cheapest Galaxy Note 9 and S10 Plus I can find. I'll link them straight down in the description below so you guys can pick them up from there. But that's pretty much it, man. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I would really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.